What's up, everyone out there in YouTube land? This is Perry Lovewhistle, and it is time for part 2 of our journey into Velious. So we are now in the Eastern Wastelands. I am now level 41. I just barely got it, but I did get it in Ice-Clad Ocean. Woot! Level 41. Also, you'll notice that I have some new equipment. I did manage to get 2 Cougar Claw earrings. I actually got an extra, so I'll be selling that in East Common Lands at some point. Also, as a gift, I got this Dragonhorn Yakisha, which it's a ranger only piercing weapon, which procs Yakisha, which is a lot of damage and stun, and it draws a lot of aggro, so I'm keeping my Sword of Skyfire for a swap out when I'm in groups, because tanks can't keep the baddies off me when I've got that. Also, before I left Iceclad, I got 4 high quality cougar pelts, which will give me 2 separate attempts at the first combine for the Coldane Ring quest, and a medium quality direwolf fur. I also got a high quality direwolf fur, which is for another quest, which you can do a couple of turn-ins in Ice-Clad Ocean, but it's going to be a much larger quest. That's really just the easiest part of it, so I managed to knock that out. Medium quality direwolf fur is for a quest that will allow me to replace my werewolf skin cloak, but like all the best quests in Velious, it requires you going to multiple zones. So I needed to get the medium quality direwolf fur, which I could have gotten in Eastern Wastes, but I was killing direwolves in Iceclad, and I need to pick up 2 ground spawns in here, and then run back to Iceclad if I get those 2 ground spawns and get that new back item. Also, on my stream, which was the 20th of July, I managed to finally get my rain collar. So I will do a quick run through of the last few steps of that once I got my mermaid hair. Under 5 minutes. There it is. Alright, I've got my lock of hair. These are purchased from Ping Fuzzle Cutter in West Freeport, which I did a long time ago, back when I thought it was going to be much quicker and easier to do this than it has been. That gets you a crate of tonic, which I give to him, and he gives me a tattered toupee. Let me put my greater lightstone back. And says that I need to go to Ping and ask him to repair the toupee. 2 clumps of hair from a hulking gorilla, a strand of hair from a certain mermaid, and that is what I have here. So first I need the tattered toupee, 2 clumps of hair from the hulking gorillas, and the lock of hair. Okay, this should be it. Alright, and that gets us the main attraction, which, by the way, is a 10 charisma head slot item. So this quest isn't just for rangers. You can stop right here if you need 10 charisma and a head slot item. Alright, now we're back at Sanford Featherhead, and all we have to do is give him the main attraction. So Sanford Featherhead, main attraction. Excellent. And I get the Glimmering Fairy Wing, which is something that he had stolen from Princess Jolena. So now I make the dangerous trek through Lesser Fate Arc. Let's go have a chat with Princess Jolena. So apparently, by the way, the lore of this is she is the one who provides the pixie dust, or the fairy dust, to Felwith for the rain collar enchantments, and she hasn't been because a giant, and I put it in quotes, stole her wing. So now I go and give her the wing. And hilariously, her buddy is Gearheart. She has made friends with what used to be a cargo clockwork. Right, Glimmering Fairy Wing goes to Princess Jolena. And I get a pouch of gold dust, which I will take back to Felwith and get my bow enchanted. But most importantly, get the heck out of this zone. So you come to Kinno Goldsinger, and he says, the Rain Caller is the name we give each True Shot longbow once it's been enchanted. I need to make a deal with the fairy folk. I imagine that is getting the gold dust. Once I have that, the remaining components, I can create the Rain Caller. The remaining components are a True Shot longbow and a Treant Heart. There will also be a guild donation of 3,000 coins. These and the fairy dust will merit a ranger the True Shot longbow. So, first, the bow, the Treant Heart, the fairy gold dust, and 3,000 gold coins. Magic item, lore item, 4520. It's got 5 charges of Fire Strike, but that doesn't matter. It's also got 6 strength and 6 dex. That is awesome. I did it, everybody. Now let's go kill something with it. And one thing that I was wrong about was this spell, Fire Strike. I thought that I couldn't use that until like 45 because all the best stuff is locked out until like level 45. I can use that right now, so that's like a 300 point direct damage spell that I would get at level 52 that I have 5 charges of now. So I will save those for when it's really useful. But that is about it. So my goal in Eastern Wastelands, aside from just getting level 42 and exploring a little bit, is to find a couple of ground spawns and also find some high quality Tundra Kodiak pelts, which I just found out. Yeah, Tundra Kodiaks. We've got some blues in here. So let's start out by seeing if I can kill one of these things, pull it up to the bridge, and kill it. Okay, these guys hit pretty hard. There's no way I'm going to win this in a one-on-one fight. So we're going to have to swap things up a little bit. Maximizing use of my fancy new bow here. Well, that was, I would say, not worth the pain. Definitely not going to be grinding out a whole bunch on soloing Tundra Kodiaks. So I'll sit down and try and work on a new plan. Alright, so the big monsters clearly require more of a group. So there's also this hut over here with a couple of Rygor in it. So I'm going to see if I can pull just the Legionnaire. Or, not just the Legionnaire, just the Centurion. Because the Legionnaire is definitely more than I can handle. And, alright, we got the Centurion. This seems more my speed, but I'm also heavily buffed right now. A high-level druid friend of mine came by and loaded me up with buffs. So it might actually be that I need to find a group in here. And I don't have time to find a group right now. So I might be about to camp out and come back when I've got a little bit more time. I'm actually not even winning this fight, even with all these buffs. Well, that one wasn't as bad as the Rhino or the Tundra Kodiak. But I still feel like if I wasn't fully buffed, I would have lost that fight. Well, let's try out this Snow Dervish. Alright. This one might go a lot better just because I got really lucky with the procs. Well, I feel pretty confident that I could solo these Snow Dervishes even without all these buffs. So at least I've got something I can kill if I can't find a group. Well, I definitely think that the Snow Dervishes need to be my my primary target while I'm here. If I can get some of those Rygor Centurions, that's also not bad because they have a little bit of money on them. But I think it's probably going to be safest for me to camp out right now and then come back on during a higher population time and put up the LFG flag because there are several great places to group in this zone, and I don't want to spend the entirety of level 41 pulling stuff back to this bridge. Which, you know, I could do, but it wouldn't be very interesting, and like I said, I got to get out and actually see some of the things in this zone. Of course, I couldn't help but take the time to notice that we have Mr. Carafirm sleeping right here with the portal into the Sleeper's Tomb, which I'm not, even though I don't have the key to it, I'm just not messing with this whole thing. But I'm pretty sure the Sleeper hasn't been woken yet on Project 99 Green, which is kind of interesting because I was sort of expecting it to happen within minutes. Because, like on TLPs, when Velious comes out, the Sleeper is killed like within the day. And down in this area, this is where the that cannot be accurate. Musical notes on it, but the ground spawns for that other quest are right here in the area around the Sleeper's Tomb. So I got 2 skinning rocks, so I'm gonna run and do that turn in for that back item right now. Well, didn't have an opportunity to get on during higher population times, so it looks like I'm going to be soloing in East Waste for a little bit. I'll put on LFG just to see, maybe I'll get pulled into a group somewhere else for the time being, but until then, I think I'm just going to be solo pulling some Snow Dervishes and some Rygor Centurions when I can get a chance, which means it's time for a killing montage. So I'm quickly finding that I am running out of arrows. So I'm going to make a run over to the Coldane town, and I'm probably not going to restock on fletching supplies on account of I'm not making a whole lot of money right now where I'm hunting. But it's also a good time to point out that once you are hunting in the eastern wastes or farther in, being bound in ice-clad ocean isn't really worthwhile anymore. So I am actually bound in Thurgoden just because the run through the Great Divide is actually shorter than the run across ice-clad, and also Thurgoden has a lot more to offer. Also, depending on where you are with faction, you could go to the southwest corner of this zone and bind in the giant town, Kale Drekel. So at this point, you got a lot of options, and depending on who you are, one of those options is definitely going to be better than staying bound in ice-clad ocean. So I'm going to take a second to run west, and I'll come back once I've got more arrows, and maybe I'll even try and hunt over by the Great Divide zone line. Oh, I actually didn't go far enough north, so I found myself by Kale. So you notice you got this nice big cavern in here, and the symbol up there, someone's probably camping these guards. There's usually, there we go, yeah, Cromriff guardsmen right outside. Little bit of a run through the inside there to get to the city, but you can bind just inside. So if you're willing to make the run past the guards, or if you actually have appropriate faction to be bound there, then that's obviously a great place to bind for hunting in Eastern Wastes. It's also a great place to kill giants to farm faction for the Coldane. And if you go a little bit north from the giant town, you find another little cut through the snow here. And this is the one that leads to the Great Divide. And I don't know if it is a glitch or what, but there is, every time I've been through here, there is a frost giant savage that is just hanging out right there. All right, and it's just a short run straight west to the river and then north to Thurgoden from here. But I'm not going to bother with that now because that's going to be part of another video in the future. As I was meditating over by the Great Divide zone line, I kept checking tracking, and honestly, there's a lot of stuff over here that I could kill for experience, but there's also a lot of stuff that could very easily kill me. So I think it's still my best bet to go buy a bunch of cheap arrows and then go hang out by the bridge. But while I'm on my way over there, I wanted to stop by one of the remaining, I think, 2 items worth looking at in this zone. And that is the Frost Giant Fort. Yes, they have the entrance to their actual city in this zone, but there's also a fort over here which is better for lower level grouping. And also Peffin Amber Snow is in this one, but it looks like a bunch of savages and a captain, and yeah, it looks like someone's over here camping them too. Probably grinding faction, but this is a good place to do that. And the only other really good place is the Rygor camp right in the middle of the zone. Server population seems to be going up a little bit, and the result of that is things that I was trying to kill in Eastern Wastes are being killed by level 60s who are trying to farm them for the Coldane Ring quest, which I'll talk a little bit more about once I actually have all the items to complete the first part of the quest. And because everyone's on their level 60s, nobody wants to group with a little 41 Ranger. But I did notice that I'm pretty sure the Zim is higher in Iceclad, and there's the Frost Giant Scouts in here, which drop good bit of money, and I can work on Coldane faction and Claws of Vishan faction, but I don't know if that's ever going to be super useful for me. And it's just right over the bridge, so it's another plus side to hanging out on the bridge in Eastern Wastes, which means I can just hop back over here. Also, the scouts in here, the last one, I didn't even need to use any arrows. I just lightning bolted him down, and by the time he was by the time I was out of mana, he was already running. So I'll see if I can manage the same thing on this next guy. There he is. Yeah, so I'm not going to bother doing a montage of this because this is supposed to be the Eastern Wastes video, but this is just a heads up that while you're hunting in Eastern Wastes, if the pickings get slim, you can always pop back over to Iceclad. Well, that's about all I have for this video. I have quite a bit left in level 41 to get to level 42. And I am intending on spending all of it either soloing Tundra Kodiaks or grouping in Eastern Wastes or hopping back across the bridge and killing giants, just based on what I have access to at the time. But it's going to take a while, which I intend on streaming. So Friday the 13th of August, I will be streaming sometime in the evening. So come by and hang out during my long meditation sessions in between kills. And hopefully I'll also be celebrating 500 subscribers. So thank you guys for showing a lot of love for this series and this channel, and there is plenty more to come. Bye.